Hello.
Welcome, everyone. Hey, Jean. Welcome. I really want you to come on today because, as you can tell from the title of this live stream, I am going to be going over monthly astrology. I don't do this normally on my main channel, so that's just what I want to alert you to. But I am going to do it for the mentions that I'm just going to, walk you through, just every month, go through the astrology of that month. And so what I'll do is, for those coming on, welcome. This is really an open forum. This is not your sun or rising sign horoscopes. This is general, collective events that are going on. So what's going to be happening is that I'm going to go over the astrology that will be occurring for this month, and then I'm going to answer questions based off of your own natal charts and your own questions, and where this is occurring for you. And I'm going to get to that later on in this live stream. So throw me your questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability in the most in-depth and informative way I can after I go through just the overview of what is going to be occurring this month. Now, another thing that I do want to say is, I have a story that I really want to tell you. I think that I might just, sort of go, take you through the events of the month, and then I might, insert it in because it's really, it's really a profound story that I have. And, it's a true story about something, really meaningful that happened to me. So, I do want to share that. Just some general announcements is, just in general, reminders that Kindle classes will be, opening up. The registration is now up until mid-January, up until I would say the 20th of January. So that's open if you're interested in taking any kind of course. I'll be taking or I'll be teaching a beginner's astrology course actually coming up in February, mid-February. I don't know the date. I sort of, it will be sort of either the first 10 days or the first, from the 1st through the 10th, or from the 11th through the 20th. It really depends on when, Deborah Silverman's astrology school starts up. And the cost is going to be about $20. So, I am going to sort of put, the price on that, but it is going to be much more reasonable amount of money. And it is definitely going to be a really insightful, enjoyable course for you to take, I'm sure. Okay, so let us get into this. I don't want to waste too much time, and I don't want to make this a particularly long live stream. So, we begin the month, the very first day of the month. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. On January 1st, we have Venus making a conjunction to Pluto. And this is really intense energy. This is a sort of calling forth and movement into the underworld. It's about loving in the most primal ways. And it's about going to, into the depths to find out what the truth of love is there and lies there. And so Venus is in Capricorn, Pluto is in Capricorn. They're meeting together at the very late degree of Capricorn. And so that'll go on. So if there's any harsh emotions that happen that particular day, any intensity or anything like that, then, it's about being prepared to purge those things. And then we move on to January 6th. And on January 6th, we have none other than a really amazing full moon in the sign of Cancer. And, I have, a separate video that I did on that, so I'm not going to get too in depth with that. But this full moon is happening at 16 degrees of Cancer. And it is about coming home to yourself and nurturing yourself in an emotional way. It's about getting really rigorously honest with yourself about what you're feeling and what you're going through. Not being afraid to nurture and pamper yourself. And, taking care of your family as well. So that's what the full moon in Cancer is basically about. Other aspects that are going on that particular day are going to be, we have the moon trining Neptune and sun trine Uranus. And sun trine Uranus is really liberation, the unconventional, forward thinking, open to trying new things, embracing yourself, celebrating your uniqueness, nor new doors opening, and enthusiasm. So we have that energy going for us. And the other aspect happening is the moon trining Neptune. And so this is more sensitivity. There could be a heightening of your imagination around this time. Poetry and music are positive activities. And your intuition could also be heightened. So we have the 6th of the month. Then we have the Sun and Mercury actually coming into a conjunction on the 7th of the month. And so this is clarity. This is intellectual clarity. This is social clarity. This is getting out, meeting new people, making a speech. And this is sort of part of the Mercury retrograde season that we're experiencing, which started on December 12th, Mercury station retrograde, December 29th. It's going to continue until the 18th. So we are going to deal with this moments of clarity, both in the ego and the mind. And the ego is connected to the mind after all, especially when it comes to our goals and our plans, which deals with Capricorn. So that's going on that day. Fast forward to the 9th of the month, and we have Venus speaking with, we have, so on the 3rd of January, we've had Venus speaking with Jupiter. It was about expansion and luck and growth and fun in relationships. And then we have the 9th of January with Venus and Mars. And this is really positive for love and really giving it your all and showing your passion up in relationships. It deals with, Venus and Mars together, the masculine and feminine energies. And they're both in air signs, so you can really, get involved in your relationships in really positive ways and take the lead and assert yourself. They're both in air signs, so it's really conversational. You could converse about new ideas, speak about new ideas, and talk it out, make a plan, and get to know the person intellectually and really, mental, sexual kind of, energy with, intelligence being really admired. So that's going on the 9th. And then we have the 12th of the month. And the 12th of the month is really when we start having some forward momentum happening in January of 2023. Mars stations to go direct. Now remember, from the end of October through up until around this point, we have Mars going backwards in the sky. So we've been scattered about the various activities that we've been trying to do. We've been a little, dismotivated, unfocused. Our anger is sort of fired off in different ways. And now we've been going through the review of our actions, the review of our energy, and how we're using and how we're asserting ourselves and how we're moving forward. And now things can come back up and we can move forward, progress forward, push forward in new goals. And the thing is not to overdo it, because Mars is just coming into station, but then it's going to start slowly but surely gaining traction in order to move forward. So don't push ahead too quickly, just sort of go slowly. Don't, go to the gym and, work out, rigorously and excessively, with this kind of, things. Just sort of, take it slow, take it easy. And it's likely that there is going to be some hot words and some argumentative emotions that are going to take place around Mars stationing time, because we've been in hibernation, we've been reflecting. So now we're coming out and now we're expressing that because Mars is moving direct, it's starting to move forward. And so things can move really, really quickly. And then around the, between the 12th and 18th, we do have a Venus square Uranus aspect. And Venus square Uranus is all about, well, there's problems with the change in our relationships. And are we going to liberate ourselves, or are we going to connect and harmonize? So that conversation is really emphasized and hardwired. Then from the 18th through the 22nd of January, we have that final window of retrograde planets, because the 18th of the month marks the end of Mercury retrograde. We still have some shadow period to cover, but Mercury is going to be stationing direct at about 8 degrees of Capricorn. And so Mercury direct in Capricorn, now we can move forward, initiate the new things, get, start new relationships, sign the contracts, do the deals, and gain a lot of intellectual clarity and, have more mental endeavors that will be coming up for us starting the 18th. It'll be a nice, it will be sort of one of the official beginnings of 2023, and it will be easier to just do something once. When Mercury is retrograde, it's easy to redo things and, want to redo things. Now we're coming into, moving forwards. And then, we have a couple of things going on 21st, 22nd of January. And we have the 21st marks a new moon in Aquarius. And this new moon in Aquarius is all about our, connecting with our communities, going inside ourselves and reflecting upon how we're, communicating And are we liberating ourselves, being free, going out of the box with our social networks and our communities and our sense of being one in humanity or humanitarian? All those issues will be looked at that new moon, and there will certainly be a prayer for that new moon. And then the 22nd, we have the ruler of Aquarius, which is Uranus. It'll be stationing to go direct. So now liberation, rebelling, revolution, all those things will start to pick up speed. And so what's really fascinating is that from January 22nd all the way through up until April the 21st, we have all the planets moving direct. And this is now it's go time. Now it's moving forward. Now it's progressing. Now you can get a lot done. And now you can move forward with new endeavors. You're at a stoplight and there's all green lights. You can now move forward. So we will not be dealing with anything retrograde until the 21st of April, when Mercury stations retrograde in Taurus, and May 1st when we have Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius. So that is really what's going on for January. Now, the story that I wanted to tell you earlier in this live stream, this is huge. So, this all began way back, in the year 2014. And what was going on in my life at this time in 2014, which was a 7-year vibrationally and energetically, I was getting initiated into getting education at a new school, which was Wilder Elementary here in town, because, unfortunately, I was in a relationship with somebody whom, I did not have the best relationship with in terms of a special education teacher. We did not bond. We did not get along. And so that was a huge reason why I moved to Wilder, but there were, a variety of other reasons as well. And so I was in Chowtalia at the time. I had expectations. There had to be little check marks checked off. Episodes had to have 3 recipes in them, and they could not have any guests. Those were the expectations. Of course, later on in the year, in the springtime, those expectations, diminished. But anyway, actually, that winter, they went away fairly quickly. They were in place for a short amount of time. They went away. But anyway, I was into Chowitalia. I was seeing an episode where Marian Esposito is making fruit dishes like apricot smoothies and a watermelon dish. And, so anyway, I went to that building, and I was walking into the cafeteria, and I was noticing the hooks along the wall to the right of me. And those hooks would be the Scorpio picture that would come to my mind. And so along the wall of those hooks, there were coats. There were all kinds of coats, all kinds of robes, so many different things. Now I want to come back to the robe, because in the Christmas of just several years ago, the Christmas of 19, I received, in an unofficial way, in an imperfect way, a robe. I received a robe as a Christmas present. My grandma made the mistake of wrapping the gifts in advance and not remembering which ones, which gifts were for whom. And so when the robe got pulled up, it suddenly went down, and then I officially got the robe and I'm wearing it now, and it is the most comfortable robe. It's really soft, and I am not, anywhere close to giving it up. And so then what happened was multiple times leaving their residence, I forgot the robe multiple times. And you wouldn't believe that one time when I was watching Calling All Engines, I found out that I left the robe, and then the next time that I went to, their house, I got the robe and took it back. And I thought that that was such an incredible moment of discovery of, okay, I did not have this, but now I have it. In my possession, here it is, and now I'm wearing it. So anyway, I thought that I would share that with you. What is going to be happening now is I'm going to be answering your questions now. So please leave me your questions in the chat here, and I am going to answer them. So who do we have asking a question first of all? Okay, Hipson. So you looked at your natal chart, and this is happening for you in your 6th house. So, okay, now I'm seeing it. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, in your 6th house. So if it's happening in your 6th house, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so 6. So we have Cancer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because the full moon in Cancer is occurring in your 6th house, it could mean that you're being asked to purge any unhealthy service pattern. So this means if you've been a martyr to other people, if you have been bending over backwards and not putting your values first before anybody else, if you have been serving other people and it's not for your highest good and it does not serve you, this is when you need to let all that stuff go and live a life of your own integrity and of your own truth. It could also mean that on the same token, it's a great time for you to get inside your home and get into your routines and all this kind of things like that. So that is my response to that. Any other question here? Okay.